Hey, what up everyone? I'm Sinnycool and this is Gems of War. Today I'm going to be going over the top 4 kingdoms that have the best event key drop table. So every week is a different kingdom. You're going to need to decide whether you should throw your event keys or not. You should be saving these up and saving these up and saving these up until you have thousands. You shouldn't just throw them whenever. You should wait until a good kingdom comes through. And I have the top 4 kingdoms that are best to throw your event keys for, and I also have the bottom 4 that you should never throw event keys for. I wish I could have made a top 5, but I just couldn't decide on the 5th one, so maybe put that in the comments, which one you think is the 5th best kingdom to throw event keys for. I just had a big tie for 5th place, so couldn't decide. But let's go over the worst kingdoms first. So these are the ones you should never, ever, ever throw event keys for. They are terrible and not worth doing. So let's start with, I don't know if they're going to be in order here because they're all just as bad as the others, but they're all pretty terrible. We have Urskaya. Urskaya is pretty bad. There's nothing here really to get. It's not even a magic kingdom. You got Urskula, 50% start for Urska. You know, nothing too great here. If you look through all the troops, there's really nothing, and you can't even get a magic stat for getting this. So nothing here, all crap. Never ever ever throw event keys for Urskaya, unless you're like a very very specific person that needs Kurandara or something. But not worth it. Not worth it. One of the worst. All right, what's next? Next we have a pretty new kingdom, and that's probably why. I'm sure they'll put in some better troops eventually, but for now, the Nexus is pretty terrible. Aquarius okay, King Heliodor is okay, but Aquarius not a top 10, King Heliodor is not a top 5 legendary or anything, and that's kind of how I did this list. If there was a top 10 mythic, I would give it 2 points. If I made special, gave 3 points for an ironhawk because you're going to get 3 of them, and it's like the best troop in the game. So I gave 3 points for ironhawk, I gave 2 points for a top 10 mythic, I gave 1 point for a good mythic, and I gave 1 point for a top 5, top 10 legendary. And then, you know, a little tiebreaker here and there for Magic Kingdom or awesome epics or something like that. So that's how I went about it, and Aquaria is not a top 10 mythic, King Heliodor is not a top 5 legendary, so it really didn't get any points. And then there's really nothing else here. So pretty terrible kingdom to throw event keys for. You're not going to get a magic stat, you're not going to get a good mythic, you're not going to get a top 5, top 10 legendary. So do not throw event keys at the Nexus either. Cool, I went all the way out. I do need to take my tribute though. Alright, come on. Game loading so much these days. What do you think about that? Terrible. Base rarity. Show all. And let's go to the next one. Alright, so those are terrible. Never, ever, 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 ever throw event keys for those. Next is, for the worst, do the worst first, is Kitar. Kitar is terrible. Pharaoh Nefertani, you don't need. Ferris Ra, you don't need anymore. Wrath of Amon, not great. None of these are top 10 mythics, or even good mythics, really. And then you have no good legendaries. So, pretty terrible kingdom. Don't throw event keys at Kitar. It is bad. Alright, what do we got now? I think the last terrible one is... The last terrible one is... I did 4 of the worst and 4 of the best, and this will be the last one for the worst. We got Blighted Lands. Blighted Lands is terrible. Amnesia is bad. The Archdukey. What do you got here, you know? Infernal King? What are you going to get? You're not going to get anything good. There's a couple empowered converters, but that is really it. It's pretty terrible. Not even like a loopy troop or anything like that. So, you know, nothing good at the Blighted Lands. It is a Magic Kingdom though, so, you know, if you're gonna get a terrible mythic, just if you're literally getting that magic stat, it kind of sucks though. You have to get a terrible mythic to do it. But pretty bad kingdom. Don't throw event keys at Blighted Lands. All right, let's go with the best. The top 4. I'm going to start with number 4. I'll start with number 1. Screw it. Let's start with number 1. What's the best kingdom in the game? If you see this kingdom come through and you have 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 event keys or more, you should throw them at this kingdom. What is it? What's the best kingdom in the game to throw event keys for? You probably know. I've already kind of given it away, but Adana is the best. If you see Adana, you should definitely throw all your event keys because you need 3 Ironhawks, right? It's got Ironhawk there, so you need to get at least 3 Ironhawks. You want 1, you need 2, and you should get 3. 2 Ironhawks is the best for Nomapaloozas. 3 Ironhawks is the best for farming versus, and the Vault event is the best thing in the game and how you get the most resources in the game. So Ironhawk is amazing, and that's not the only reason either. We got Tina 9000, who's a top 10 mythic. So that it got so many points. It got 3 points for Ironhawk. It got 2 points for Tina 9000. And then you also have, that's not even it yet. That's not even it. We got Tesla, like the best freaking legendary in the game. You got Tesla here, and you need multiples of Tesla. I should have gave it even more points because you need 2 Teslas. Or, you know? So Tesla is amazing as well. And then you even have Bork. So if you throw a bunch of event keys and happen to miss Ironhawk, you might get Tina, Tesla, and Bork, which is pretty awesome. And even two Tinas is pretty good these days. But the main thing you're going for is Ironhawk. You want 3 of them, so you need a bunch of event keys. You probably need like 5,000 event keys or something like that to get everything you need here. Maybe even more. But yeah, Ironhawk, you need 3 of them. Tina is an amazing top 10 that you could even use 2 of. Tesla's an amazing legendary, probably the best legendary in the game that you need at least 2 of, probably. And then Bork's a really good mana, generator. So shout out to Adana. I think it's the best kingdom in the game to throw event keys at. You should wait and wait and wait until you see Adana, and then throw all your event keys until you get 3 Ironhawks, and maybe even Tina. All right, what's the second best kingdom? Let's say you already have Ironhawk, you already have Tina, you already have Tesla. What would be the second best kingdom to throw event keys for? And I went with Zhul'Kari. I think Zhul'Kari is the second best kingdom to throw event keys at. You got Arachnian Weaver, a top 10 mythic. Freaking awesome. You got Arc Proxy Avendra, a top 10 mythic. Freaking awesome. And then you got an amazing legendary here with Web Spinner. Web Spinner is a great legendary, so probably a top 10, maybe a top 5 legendary. So lots of good stuff here. 2 top 10 mythics, a top 5, top 10 legendary, and Secra Darkwood, one of the best loopers in the game. So shout out to Secra, Malcandessa, tons of good stuff here, especially the mythics. But even if you miss the mythics, you could get Web Spinner and Secra. So second best in the game, in my opinion, is Zhul'Kari. Alright, what is the third best? If you have all of that, we have Ironhawk and Tina and Tesla and Arachnian Weaver and Arc Proxy and Web Spinner and all that stuff, what would you go for third? Third, I would say, is Zaejin. Zaejin, just that High King Irongut, man. I gotta wait him a little bit because he's so amazing, especially for the Underworld, especially with the Bane of Mercy these days, especially with Zhul'Kari. He's just really, really good. He's like the second or third best mythic in the entire game, so he got a little bit of extra weight on him, maybe like a 2.5. So he edged out the 4th place by getting 3rd place here. Flaming Oni, also really good. Maybe not a top 10, but it's definitely a top 20. Super awesome troop right there. Got Fairy Godmother, which is decent. It's like every single mythic here is good. Fairy Godmother is good. Flaming Oni is great. And High King Irongut is amazing. Then you just have Goblins out the butt. Goblins are really good in the beginning of the game. We got Fun Dingus here, who is pretty good. You got the String Fiddler. You got the Slug Hoarder. Just got all kinds of stuff. Goblin Rocket, Boar Rider, Hobgoblin, Goblin Shaman, Goblin. You got so many goblins too, just to top it off. It's pretty good. I would say it's the 3rd best kingdom to throw event keys at. Basically for that High King Irongut, but if you miss, Flaming Oni is not terrible. And then you could also get some cool goblins and stuff like that. So I would say Zaejin is really good. Zhul'Kari, by the way, is also a magic kingdom. That's why it edged out Zaejin, so another reason. Alright, here's the last one. Here's number 4, the 4th best kingdom to throw event keys at. You really don't need much more than 4. You're going to be saving event keys for so long. You're not going to get stuff by saving up 500. You're probably not going to get all the good stuff by saving up 1,000. You have to save like 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 plus event keys and then throw them at these kingdoms. You can't just throw 500 at a time. So to have 4, the top 4, I think is plenty. But let's go with the number 4 here, the last one that I'm going to mention as a really good one to throw event keys for. Let's go up to... Where's it at? Pan's Veil. Pan's Veil's really good. It's got the Wild King and the Wild Queen. Two top 10 mythics. So, pretty awesome. The only reason it didn't beat out like Zaejin and Zhul'Kari, it's not a Magic Kingdom. It doesn't have any good legendaries. But it does have 2 top 10 mythics, which is pretty sweet. The Wild King and the Wild Queen. It's really, really top heavy, so if you happen to miss, that would be terrible. So you want to make sure you saved up like a bunch of event keys. And then if you do get a mythic, you got a 50-50 chance of getting a really, really good one right here with the Wild King and the Wild Queen. So great spot to throw event keys. King Salinas isn't bad, you know. He's got the 50% start for Wild Folk. So pretty good there too. But mostly for the Wild King and the Wild Queen. But yeah, that is it. I couldn't really decide on the third best. I think technically I had Wild Plains, but it just didn't float my boat, and I just didn't want to put it as the 5th best because it doesn't seem like it. I probably should have gave more points to something else. It's got Ketris, the Lord of Slaughter. But yeah, nothing really else. And the Lord of Slaughter is a top 10, but Ketris has been falling off and falling off and falling off, so not great. But I really wouldn't recommend it unless you terribly need the Lord of Slaughter. Blackhawk has Megavore and Sycorax. Draxum has Obsidius, Glaceon, and King Bloodhammer. Galvania has the Grey King, Morthani, the Ghost Queen. Glacial Peaks has King of the Ravens, Borealis, Daughter of Time. Mista Scales has Urali, Vanoxia, Marilith. Shintang has Keelan and Yao Gui. Cinemirage has Scourge of Honor, Wrath, and Bane of Mercy. Stormheim has Mistralis and Balder. Suncrest has Phoenicia, Queltzama, Egress, and Ikatl. Whitehelm has Guard's Avatar, Archdeva, Holy Saint Astra, and Angry Mob. And yeah, you know, maybe let me know. This would be where you come in with your comments. What's the 5th best kingdom to throw event keys for? After reading over those, maybe Whitehelm with the Guard's Avatar, Archdeva, Holy Saint Astra, and Angry Mob. That might be the best one. That or Cinemirage maybe, Scourge of Honor, Wrath, and Bane of Mercy. I don't know. I can't decide on the 5th one. You guys need to decide in the comments. Let me know what you think about this video. Avoid those first 4 like the plague. And then save up 5,000 or so event keys for those other ones. You know, Adana is the best. And then Zhul'Kari, and then Zaejin, and then Pan's Veil. Make sure you avoid Urskaya, Nexus, Kitar, and Blighted Lands. That's it for today. Like, share, subscribe, consider joining. It helps a lot. Tell your guild about the channel, comment below, and I will see y'all next time. Peace.